What if all of your belief systems were based on a lie? Now, what if your God didn't exist? What if there was no Easter Bunny? What if there was no Tooth Fairy? What if there was no Santa Claus? So what if all of your belief systems suddenly made no sense? Now, what if we were talking to someone that had some very strong belief systems? What if we were questioning the belief systems?
You hear the song?
Don't ask me how I do that. I've done very strange things many times, but out of all the possibilities of songs, I talk them into existence.
Yes.
You know?
The whole time I've known James, he's been homeless. But that's his choice. That's what he wants. And I know that's really hard for the average person to understand. But once you meet him and talk to him, you would understand. You would get it. His whole life and everything that is involved in his life, everything revolves around music and acting. I had asked him many of questions about his past and things like that. And that's something that he does talk about, but he doesn't want to. And it's not because he has something to hide. It's because he doesn't want to bring up something that doesn't even matter to him. What matters to James is right here, right now, in the present, what's going on. And what is he gonna do to get the ball rolling on his new project, his new movie idea, his new song? That's just what he does. His mind is moving 1,000,000 miles a minute. He's constantly writing movies in his head, commercials in his head, songs, poetry, everything.
Greetings, Earth peoples. I'd like to tell you about somebody that's been a really big influence on me, and I put this in the category of, I wouldn't say the three men I admire the most, but people that have had a big influence on me. One is John Lennon, John Ono Winston Lennon. Another one is Steve Irwin, the Crocodile Hunter. The third one is Mr. Keith Noel Emerson. I learned 4 songs from Keith Emerson in his band, and it's called Rondo, America, Hold Down, and the intermezzo from the Carrera Suite. Now, all of these songs were not original songs to him. These were songs that he'd taken and modified in a very dramatic way for the Hammond organ. So he was fundamentally responsible for the use of the Hammond organ in a way that had never been done before, and I don't think it has never been done since in the way that he did it with such showmanship.
Has anybody seen my iPod? I must have dropped it on the floor. If you should see my iPod, I'd really like to hear Siri's grandmother's voice once more. Has anybody seen my iPod? I must have dropped it on the floor. If you should see my iPod, I'd really like to hear Siri's grandmother's voice once more. Because Santa's lost his iPod, Santa's lost his iPod, Santa's lost his iPod along the Kingman Road. Oh, we had it at Wells Fargo, had it at Wells Fargo. We lost it at Carl's Jr. along the Kingman Road. So you should see my iPod. It's got a little crack in the screen.
The message I would like to give to people is very simple. It's love, peace, harmony in rock and roll. And if that's not what it is, then this is what you do. Hey dude, I'm looking for love, peace, harmony, and rock and roll. You know where it is. But it's a simple message. I want to encompass the spirit of community, the global spirit of community, and actually the intergalactic spirit of community if it comes to that. Because remember, this could be seen 3,000 years from now, and we could very easily. In my grandparents' lifetime, the dudes were making bikes, and then they got to fly them, and now we went to the moon, and then, who knows what's next. We've been to Mars, and so I think that if we can get away from all the negativity, there's a lot more good stuff you could be doing with your life. I think if you're in a relationship where you're getting 3 black eyes every night, whether you need them or not, it's probably time to not have that relationship. And if you do have difficulties in your relationship, then you got to work through them. So the relationship could be a marriage, it could be a business relationship, it could be a band. They don't all come easy, but you got to earn them and you got to keep them. And so I'm going to have a drink. You can see that I'm not really a robot. I'm actually coughing here.
I've always tried to pick James's brain when it comes to music. And the one person he really, truly, truly admired as a musician, as a performer, as a person, was Keith Emerson. You'll hear him talk about Keith Emerson here and there because he was such an influence on James. I had not heard from James for a while. Things just seemed weird. It was just a little different. I wasn't getting calls from him every night. I wasn't getting texts or emails. And then I found out this happened.
I'm James Zyla. Keith Emerson, a founding member and keyboardist of the English progressive rock supergroup Emerson, Lake and Palmer, has died in California. He was 71 years old. The group said in a brief statement on its official Facebook page, quote, "We regret to announce that Keith Emerson died last night at his home in Santa Monica," end quote. The group went on to say, quote, "We ask that the family's privacy and grief be respected," end quote. In a separate statement, drummer Carl Palmer said he was deeply saddened to learn of Emerson's passing. He said, quote, "He was a pioneer and an innovator whose musical genius touched all of us in the worlds of rock, classical, and jazz."
I wonder what it is that Keith Emerson knew that I don't know, because I learned everything that I just played from him, you see, so I'm not understanding this Facebook thing at all. I don't know that this is, am I just imagining this is going out, if anybody's hearing it? Anyway, it seems like the bad guys are winning right now, the demons. I've not seen anybody coming out, and everybody talks, but nobody does anything. I've heard nothing about my Kurzweil K250, my Hammonds, any of my movies, songs, or nothing. So anyway, I think I'm just talking to a piece of plastic. I don't know if this Facebook thing exists. I don't know if the internet exists. I don't know if food exists. I don't know if money exists. I don't know if people exist. I don't know if love, peace, harmony, rock and roll exists. I think I might just be imagining it. Man. All of the things that Keith Emerson did were impossible 200 years ago. There was no Hammond organ. There was no Leslie Cabin. There was no recording studio. There was no electricity. Well, if somebody hadn't invented electricity, if somebody hadn't invented the recording studio, if somebody hadn't invented the Hammond organ, if somebody hadn't invented the Leslie cabinet, well, here lies somebody born when, died when. Somebody wasn't somebody was Don Leslie. Lawrence Hammond, Tesla, and the recording studio inventor dude.
If I was a sculptor, but then again, no. A man who makes potions in a traveling show. No, it's not much. It's the best I can do. My gift is my soul. This one is won't you tell everybody this is a song? Maybe quite simple, but now that it's done, hope you don't mind, hope you don't mind, get up in town. A wonderful life you're in the world. Did I ever attend college? I attended quite a few colleges actually. Some for the purpose of learning, some for the purpose of providing music, some for the purpose of instruction. My very first adventure with college was at a place called U.S.A. And so when I go to the brand new 9-story library, I kind of modified one of my lifelong dreams. And as a little boy, when I first walked into the library, when I was old enough to have my own library card, my dad didn't say it right. He said, "How old does he have to be to join the army?" The word he meant was library, and I got a little bit worried there for a minute. I thought I was going to get sent off somewhere to fight. But he said it wrong. He meant, how old do I have to be to join the library? So once I joined the library, I looked at all these books and I go, when I grow up, I'm going to own every book in the world. So now when I go to the university, I take the elevator to the 9th floor and I look at all these different branches of botany and microbotany and microbiology, and I go, ooh, if I start reading all these books, I won't even get off the 9th floor by the time I'm 203. So then I took the elevator to the 8th floor, the 7th, the 6th, the 5th, the 4th, and I walked around every floor. And I thought, wow, the amount of knowledge that we have just in this one library, multiply that by all the other libraries, and then add in all the libraries that have been destroyed throughout history, that we each can only absorb just a little bit, and hopefully together we can see enough eye to walk hand in hand. And so the one thing we were taught going into college was that this is unlike a regular school situation. We're going to throw so much stuff at you, so much information into your brain. If you retain 1% of it, we've achieved our objective. As I was walking down Andy Devine, singing my favourite song, the fog on the Tyne is all mine, the fog on the Tyne is all mine. And as I looked at all the smiling faces, I thought I was ganning along the Scotswood Road to see the Bladen races. But no, this is Kingman, Arizona, son. This is how the West was really won. It's Don Janela at his best. He made this for the Best of the West and subsequently for the Oktoberfest. So the running hare, he's 12 foot tall, and he watches trains. He'll be there if it snows or rains. His feet run west, his arse points north. He's on the very edge of 4th. 2015, I remember that year well. He stands outside the Beale Hotel. Now, when he'd been here just 1 week, I know this is true. I heard him speak. He said to me, "Hey, you down there, it's me up here, the running hare. I have a secret I want to share. I want to be the White House hare. I want to take the country back. like Clinton did with Fleetwood Mac. So, Mr. Trump, don't hesitate. Make the running hare your running mate.
When I find myself in times of trouble, other men becomes to speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be. Let it be. There will be an broken hearted people living in the world of dreams. There will be an answer. Let it be. Although they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. Is this piano insured? When the night is come, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. All the memory comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be. Let it be.
Today is 2/18/2016. I've been looking for James for approximately 5 or 6 hours now. Driving up and down Stockton Hill Road. Every time in the past that I've done that, I've always found him. I have checked every park because I do know that he likes to nap at parks. I've checked fast food joints. I've checked his usual spot, which is Starbucks, which we're supposed to meet at 7 p.m. at Starbucks tonight for some guitar sessions. But he hasn't called. I haven't found him anywhere. It's just not normal. So last night, there was a very, very large storm that came through. No rain, but lots and lots of heavy winds. So I don't know if he went somewhere else or what he did, because I know he does sleep in the streets. At least right now he does. So my thing is, maybe he went somewhere else, or maybe he's staying with someone. Why would he want to leave a place with a warm bed or something, you know? So I'm using that to calm my odd thoughts about where he may be, or what may have possibly happened.
Hello, Anthony. This is James leaving you a message on Eric's phone. Just checking to see on your geographical whereabouts and howabouts and what you got planned. If you could give me a call, I'm at Eric's establishment right now, which is located at 523 East Andy Devine. I was going to say Santa Monica Boulevard, but it's not. It's East Andy Devine in the fine city of Kingmanville.
I'm not quite sure what's going on with the, not the sphincters, the neurons in the brain with Anthony, that he wasn't able to find me because I was actually off the beaten track. I visited McDonald's and then I walked up the bike path, and Michael and Jeremy arrived both at the same time spontaneously. Michael's a drummer and he's going to come to Starbucks tonight, and Jeremy I have met, and he lives on a street not too far away from there, so I went to his house, had a shower, and we did laundry and watched a little bit of TV and had a sandwich. And meanwhile, Anthony's looking all over for me because I'm not on my normal beaten path. I wasn't too far away, but then I had so Jeremy's wife, Paddy, finished work and he picked her up and they dropped me off at Starbucks, and that's when Anthony finally found me. So I'm going to shoot forward to my movie Bull. If anybody's seen the movie Reservoir Dogs, they talked at the beginning in the coffee shop about tipping the waitress. Well, I've got a variation on that. It's called tipping the piano player. So I said, okay, tipping the piano player. So they have a controversial discussion. And I wanted to talk to Mr. Billy Joel, because Mr. Billy Joel and me have one thing in common, and that is Christy Brinkley did not make breakfast for either one of us this morning. And so I wanted to say, Mr. Billy Joel, you ungrateful rock star, when you say they sit at the bar and put bread in your jar, I want to know, was it sourdough or was it 9 grain? So that's the only question I have for him. So now we're going around the table and everybody's having this discussion, but really what we're here for is to find out how we're going to make this incredible short movie to submit to the Sundance Film Festival, the Cannes Film Festival, and the movie's called Bull. B-U-L-L-L, exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. So because I have friends that tell me there's already a movie called Bull, I go, not spelled with 3 L's and 3 exclamation marks, it's not. So, my movie's called Bull, it's a short movie, it's a cooperative affair. And so, they were sitting in the coffee shop discussing how we're going to make this special effect. The idea is the hydroelectric plant, the employee is either disgruntled or intoxicated for whatever reason, he presses the button, or she presses the button, it could be, and so the casinos wash away down the river all the way to Lake Havasu, which is physically impossible and very expensive to show. So how are we going to do that with a limited budget? So, we show the couple standing looking out the window across to the river to Laughlin, and then all of a sudden it goes black, and his wife says, oh, the hydroelectric plant burst, and all the water washed the casinos away. And the husband says, hydroelectric plant, and then he says a word that Clark Gable said in the movie Gone with the Wind. And then we go, bull, and then that's where my song comes in. B-U-L-L-L, exclamation, R-A-G-G-G.
The magic dragon lived by the sea and fright in the autumn mist in a land called Harderley. Little Jackie Pickma loved that rascal Pup and brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frightened the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon.
Exterminate! 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 Ladies and gentlemen, this is Doctor Who, degenerated once again, and this is the TARDIS. Now, if you're having problem with the Klingons, the Daleks, or the ladies, I recommend you try Spam, S-P-A-M, Spam by Hormel. Cold or hot, it hits the spot.
Hello, Anthony. This is James. I'm on speakerphone on Alan's phone here, and we're headed down to Safeway. We'll be there in about 3 minutes. I don't know if you're there yet or if you're on your way, but I got shanghaied into an incredible jam session here with some musicians. So we're just about there already. We're around by the freeway area, and we'll be right in the Safeway parking lot within minutes, over and out.
So other than acting and music, what other past careers or past jobs have you held throughout your lifetime?
What jobs have I held?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've worked for governments. I've worked with computer companies. I've worked in a music store. I've sold real estate. I've been an office manager, bookkeeper, accountant at a ladies' boutique in Newport Beach. I've been a fundraiser for and subscriptions for Opera Pacific and for the Philharmonic Society in Orange County. So for 7 years, I was associated with the Orange County Performing Arts Center. I sold real estate in Huntington Beach, in Newport Beach, in Buena Park, in Long Beach, and other places. I worked with the Shell Oil Company for 10 years. I was pretty much a systems analyst, data processing manager. And I've worked with a photographer. I've worked as a, what would you call it, an outside salesman at the Los Angeles Pomona Fair, selling little brushes. So I've sold a lot of different things. I was sales director for the Voice Connection in Irvine, California in 1984, and I demonstrated voice recognition equipment, most of which I developed the voiceware. In fact, I made that word up, voiceware for computers, which is like Siri's great Terra-great grandmother. It worked perfectly well on the Apple IIe computer when we didn't even have the mouse yet. We didn't even have color screen. We had green characters, uppercase, 40 column on a black background with a keyboard and the voice recognition board plugged into one of the slots. And I demonstrated voice-controlled laser discs, multilingual, at the Comdex show in 1984. And so I've done a lot of different little things in between, and then I've worked in Hollywood in different capacities. I've helped them in production, I've helped them doing acting and music, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff that isn't in the front of my mind right now, because I've also sort of associated myself musically with establishments such as bars, restaurants, churches, libraries, where not only have I performed for them, but I've also done a kind of marketing and networking in order to make it possible for people to come in to see you, because unless you have the audience there, it doesn't matter how good your performance is. And so now at the present time, I'm looking to the future to be affiliated with an organization that's globally conscious as a global community, and to bring all these things together to try and encourage people to the point where every violin that we put on the stage is one less gun misused on the street.
All night, Flag with the hearing